Welcome to the closing table. I'm your host, Adam Rubin. Today, we are joined by a true pioneer in digital marketing and technology. Jason Wood is the founder of Specificity, Inc., a digital marketing firm and technology incubator that is consistently deploying new tools to deliver hyper-focused audience targeting. His company is known for creating platforms like Pickpocket, a fully automated self-serve solution that improves client conversions and measurable ROI in just 4 clicks. Throughout his career, Jason has been a top performing salesperson and a successful entrepreneur, leading multiple companies, including Specificity, which he and his team have successfully taken public. He's known for his fast thinking, brilliant marketing strategies, and advanced technology solutions. Welcome to the show, Jason.
Hey, my pleasure, man. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. So, how's it going? How goes it on this Thanksgiving Eve?
Yeah, well, I apologize for the ball cap, but it is Wednesday before Thanksgiving, so I'm running out to play golf right after this. It is what it is. No, it's going great, man. I mean, Specificity has made some big moves the last 60 days. We're starting to get traction on our stock and build liquidity, like just signed our first enterprise level client in Europe, and we just got the results back on that. We're building a case study out for that. Insane results, insane ROI on that campaign, and we're going to be making that announcement probably next week.
Awesome. Love to hear. That's impressive. Congratulations. So
Thanks, man.
tell me a little bit about how Specificity came to fruition, kind of like the early days, and
Sure.
now ultimately taking it public.
Yeah, so man, I've been in digital marketing for like 20 years, right? All over the agency space as an entrepreneur. And early on, I saw a huge gap in the data on all these platforms, data accuracy, all of that, how we were acquiring data and marketing to that data. And back in the day, it was big data email. So you did this client acquisition, it was universal ID. Sloppy because it's the email you signed up for in college. It's not the one that's on your device. It's all of that. So I just started building solutions on the data side of ad tech. And then as this market has evolved, particularly in the last 4 or 5 years, big tech has made some incredibly specious moves that have really harmed ROI for brands and has really deprecated ROAS in terms of the marketer's ability to do testing and all of that. So I wanted a solution. So we built a solution that solved the very first big tech challenge, which was the cessation following the iOS update 14.5 of app tracking data. So that went away, and Meta and Google and all these big platforms just removed audience transparency, started removing hundreds of thousands of targeting selects. So I knew back then, and this is 2020, 2021, using their platform data was no longer going to be the solution if you wanted to maximize ROI. It just wasn't going to do the job. So since then, we built a technology solution to solve that problem by building addressable audiences in the data market, and then using that data on platforms. Well, then they changed their user agreement and they get to deal on their like audiences. And then the AI algos came out. And now we're in a market where over half of every paid ad, depending on what study you look at, is never seen by a human being. That's how severe the bot traffic problem has become in our market. So we had to get real serious about a big tech solution leveraging AI. So we did that. We acquired the US and the European identity graphs and the pixel technology to spin up our own pixels, and partnered with one of the largest data aggregators on the planet for the intent signal data. So they pipe it in, we refine the hell out of it, get rid of bot traffic, but append it back to the data, the identity graph to make sure it's accurate. And the results so far are spectacular, and we're not even finished with the build out yet.
That's incredible, Jason. Well, while I understand a lot of what you just said, do you mind just kind of dumbing it down a little bit for some viewers that may not understand the magnitude of that, the impact that it would have on their business?
Yeah, I think the best way to understand it is to really look at these AI algos that they launched late 23, January 24. All the big tech platforms did it. DSPs, programmatic platforms, social media platforms, Google, they all launched their AIs within about a 6-month window of each other. And what you see there is these AI algos are no longer designed to maximize a marketer's ROI. They're now designed to keep your campaigns tenable, to keep you spending. That's what their machine learning is doing. At what level are you getting a bare minimum, but enough for the brand to keep spending on platform and to grow spend? The problem with all the bot traffic in these funnels, aside from the tech issue, right? Because like literally half your ad spend is going to garbage, just mechanical, algorithmic. bot farms, all of that. So you're just wasting it. And then you've got of the remaining roughly half of the audience, it's real people. The data accuracy is a huge problem as well. So what all this means to a marketer is that for every 5 grand you throw at ad spend, half of that is gone right out of the gate to fraudulent traffic, bot traffic, mechanical traffic. And big tech knows it. They have their own identity graphs. They know what the mechanical mobile ad IDs are on the platforms. They know. They just need to be able to monetize. And here's why. In 2021, I'm gonna give you some rough numbers. In 2021, digital marketing or ad tech was paid ads. It was a $250 billion a year industry, roughly. We closed out the year last year at over $700 billion. So demand tripled in that time period. But if you've noticed on your platforms, you're not suddenly getting 40 ads or 30 ads to every one post you actually want to see. So how did they monetize? How did they triple the demand without tripling the amount of ads we're seeing? Bot traffic, it's fraud, and they know what they're doing. So we wanted to build a tech stack to fight that fraud and to remove their ability to tell us what mobile ad IDs are real and which ones aren't, because they're never going to tell us the truth. So by doing that, it does a lot of stuff. Obviously, it doubles the amount of actual humans you're talking to for the same dollar. So there's a natural lift in ROI right there. But additionally, it makes analytics real again. So marketers, we're always doing A/B testing, right? We test creative, we test offers, we test messaging. For 4 or 5 years, our tests are not real because they're chock full of bot traffic. And bot traffic clicks and crawls everything. So every ad you serve, bot or mechanical mobile ad IDs, it's clicks. They're data crawlers. It just clicks, 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 clicks. So you've seen this precipitous rise in bounce rates on websites, but really what you've seen is the convolution of the analytics. So marketers are flying blind. And now we've trained an entire generation on how to get good at manipulating the platform algorithms that are not designed to help you. We've got an entire generation of marketers that don't understand the data from the real data science side. So it just spells recipe for disaster. And that's why globally, it's been a huge decline in ROI with digital marketing, and we're here to fix it.
So on that note, Jason, if you are, an average marketer trying to analyze the performance of their campaign, what would you recommend to them to be able to identify what's authentic versus what's, what can you do to try to get ahead of it?
Well, right now, the only solutions that exist in the AI space and other spaces to solve it is post ad serve. So once you get a click and it goes to the website, but there's companies like ClickCease and others that can identify the algorithmic traffic because it bounces in a millisecond, and they can suppress that out of your bottom funnel, but it doesn't solve the biggest waste, which is the audience identification and the ad serve. So whether you're on Meta, whether you're on Google doing PPC, whether you're on programmatic or doing connected TV or DSP, those audiences are going to waste half your money right out of the gate. So there's no pre-ad spend real solution with real AI in the market until now. So we solve the problem before you spend the ad dollars, not after you've driven the traffic and already wasted the ad spend. It cleans up all of the analytics. Now your bounce rate means something again. Now your segmentation means something again. Now your conversion rates mean something again. Now your A/B tests mean something again. So the real crux of it is you have to have control of the audience. You can't trust big tech. You can't go in and set up an audience on there or grab a data asset and just pipe it into the ad manager tools anymore, because their user permissions allow them to deal in the bot traffic. And the bot traffic is the biggest problem in digital marketing right now. Despite what all these other guys talk about, all these marquee leaders, they don't lean into this side of it because they don't have the tech stacks to deal with it. So they then in turn start talking about better creative and how that's going to, listen, over half your ad dollars are gone on bot traffic. It's the biggest problem in ad tech. We think it's over a $300 billion a year problem. We're here to solve it, and we built the tech stack to do it.
Very impressive. And I can certainly see the use cases for it and the value behind it. So as far as, going forward, and as AI continues to evolve and grow and get better and better and better, talk to me a little bit about the impact that AI has had on the development of this technology, as well as how you use it in your day-to-day workflow.
Well, we're training closed AI. We don't use commercial AI. So we're seaming all this tech together now. That's where all the automation comes in. What we're training AI to do is bring in these billions of intent signals, data signals every single day. So when we identify audiences, It's not just based on location or demographic. We're actually looking at behavior. People that are visiting our client's competitor's website, people that are searching for different products or services, people that are consuming certain kind of content that tell us their end market, right? And we score that intent audience. So we know it's 0 to 100, 100 being the freshest, newest intent's not always what you want, but we just know how to score it. We're using AI to clean up the identity graphs and get rid of all the mechanical mobile ad IDs. And the reason why that matters is on Meta, on Google, on most identity graphs that are out there, the biddo to made ratio is insane. And I know that's techie. I'll explain it in just 60 seconds. When think of a biddo as the person. So let's just take Facebook because everybody understands Facebook. The biddo is your page. It's your page or it's my page. So if we're in your audience, if you're in my audience, I want to identify you. But the biddo to made ratio, made meaning mobile ad ID, is 24 to 1 on Meta, roughly. That's incredibly insane. So what they've done is they've just never parsed out the phone that you logged into Facebook with 12 years ago, and then you sold it or you damaged it and got a new one, or you traded it in and Verizon shipped it to Uganda in some donation play. You've got to navigate through 24 mobile ad IDs, even if you have the accurate data. That's a garbage way to operate. It's where all the waste is coming in. So we're using AI to spot, recognize, and identify errant data and mechanical traffic, algorithmic traffic, even the new CITV bot traffic, and get it the hell out of the identity graph so that we're never serving ads cross-platform to fake traffic.
So are you making real headway in regards to removing it permanently, or do you find yourself in a position where you're removing it and then new bot traffic then ultimately?
It's exactly that. It's why you need AI. Like if it wasn't like, here's the thing. So when you're trying to leverage data, intent signals, the aggregators that do that have a different tech stack, and you need them to. It's a necessarily sloppy game, right? Because intent is intent is intent, and you want it all you can get. So these guys don't do the refinement of the data. They do the aggregation of it. So their challenge is they pipe it in an ad agency or they pipe that data over to an enterprise level internal marketing team, and these guys don't know how to refine it. So without that step, and that's our market position, is we understand the data so well that we can do the granular audience identification, but we can also bring in the intent data and refine the hell out of it so that you're not dealing with bot traffic, errant data, and all of that. And that's an everyday challenge. It's a cat and mouse game that will never stop with big tech. So that's why we needed to build our own AI solution and acquire the identity graphs and the pixel technology ourselves.
Amazing. Do you find yourself kind of leading this charge, for these type of results and safeguarding, clients' budgets? How competitive is this landscape? Where, are other agencies, users, anybody
Right.
that is running ads? Where do you find, the marketplace
Well, most
is at these
marketers,
days?
yeah. So most marketers know that there's a problem, but the complexity involved to solve it is something that you have to have a very specific background. And frankly, you have to have a very specific team of people, technologists, not just digital marketers that know how to use Meta's ad manager tools, because that's where you're going to get your bot traffic from. But to actually be able to do the deep, deep, deep dive in the granular side of the data and the audience identification, we think once we get this all the way built out, we think we're going to be the largest ad tech industry disruptor. And I know this is a big statement in ad tech's history. We think we're changing the game in a way that'll keep us ahead of big tech and their play because we have the ability to refine the data on our side.
Understood. So I take it they're well aware of you and your footprint.
Probably not yet. We went through a BF Borgers fraud for 18 months where like 370 publicly traded, 69 publicly traded companies were affected. It took us 14, 16 months to get through it. So we haven't made a lot of noise yet, except for the last 60 days. I hired a new CEO, a gentleman named Robert Fetter, who is enterprise level capital markets credible CEO. He's going to take over at some point, first half of next year. We hired Rob Gagney, who is one of the world's leading technologists, to be our CTO. We brought on Adrian Walters out of London to be our chief sales officer. Like we've made big, and then we did this big acquisition with Black Pearl on the tech stack. And now we've got Rob and his team seaming it up. So we're going to launch, we're on an any day kind of period. We're probably 30, 60, 90 days out from having the full tech automation. But listen, man, we signed our first enterprise level client a couple months ago in Europe, and the results are over 30x on ad spend, over 30x. And we're building the actual case study. That's real attribution. So we're going to make a hell of a lot of noise. So if these guys don't, big tech doesn't know who we are yet, they're getting ready to.
I love to hear it. So, for the audience, what would you recommend, as far as going forward with ads? Are there certain channels that are worse than others? Are there any things that you can kind of low-hanging fruit that you can identify quickly or easily to be able to splice it out of your data sets for evaluating performance purposes? Anything that somebody can do to just quickly evaluate or analyze the efficacy of their campaigns?
Right. And so, right now, I think the next iteration is first party data set build out for brands. If you're not building your own first party data set based on activity you're driving out of your ad spend, you're missing the boat. Google's deprecating their first party cookie. Meta's taken away hundreds of thousands of targeting selects. So as marketers, whether you're in an agency or whether you're, CMO of an enterprise level brand or marketing director at a mid-sized company, doesn't matter. You've got to start leveraging tech that allows you to de-anonymize your website traffic that you're paying to drive and really start to build down funnel first party data. Because listen, Web 3.0 is coming. I mean, it's coming, baby. There's no stopping it. And if we think we're going to be able to lean into Meta and Google and trust their data, I mean, Google PPC mechanical traffic is off the charts insane high. It's never been higher than it is right now, and Google is not doing anything to parse it or stop it. So the ability to refine that data lies in the brand's ability to build their own first party set of data. So that to me, I think is the key in the next 12 months for brands. That's something we do at Specificity. So we have these clean audiences. We drive them to the site. We de-anonymize in a name, address, phone number, job title if it's B2B, phone number, on-device active emails. We do down funnel outreach. It's a lot less expensive than top funnel ad spend. And if you can't do the holistic play, you're missing large chunks of conversion opportunities out of the audiences that you're driving, that you're paying to drive.
Understood. And as far as AI goes and automation, with all the variety of different tools, where do you see that going? What other future problems do you see it solving or pain points? It doesn't even need to be monetary necessarily. It can be, to get back some time or efficiency in your business's workflows, pad some margins, nothing wrong with that.
Right.
What's your take in your crystal ball as far as where do you think that whole landscape is going, both near term and
Yeah, I think AI is going to be a major disruptor in this market, and I think it's not all going to be positive, and I think some of it's going to be positive, and it kind of goes into three different silos for me. You've got generative AI, right, which is creative and content. So we've got to be careful as marketers with that, especially if you're using commercial AI that's just going to grab stuff off the internet. And now you've got copyright issues and you've got all those kind of problems. And companies have got to get smarter about how they're using generative AI. So we still like the human touch on creative. We still like it. Then you've got workflow automation AI, and this is where I think it's going to be incredibly powerful. The ability to set up a workflow where you've got your creative silo, your data silo, your campaign silo, your analytics silo, the ability to lean AI into that to automate everything, including the analytic assessment to give you red lights. Hey, here's a problem. Here's a change that needs made. Here's an opportunity with this segment. But you can't use commercial AI for that as successfully. So you've got to build your own, and that's what we're doing. But I think that's where AI is going to make the biggest difference. Look, for me, all of digital marketing is about one thing. It's about ROI on the ad spend. We can talk about branding plays an element in that. We can talk about creative plays an element in that. We can talk about all that. But ROI, if a company's going to put 100 grand a month into digital marketing, what are they getting back for that money? And what are their competitors getting back for that money? And that's what's going to determine who scales fastest in which vertical.
So would you say the biggest contributor to what they're getting back is how effective they are with the audience targeting and ensuring that you're actually dealing with people and not bots? Would
Well,
that be the
that's our
biggest
yeah.
catalyst or contributor to it?
Yeah, that's our play. The rest of the market isn't there. The rest of the market is trying to use post ad serve tools to eliminate bot traffic down funnel, like in the middle or the bottom of your marketing funnel. But you've already wasted the money. So you've got to have such a granular understanding of how data actually works and functions, how mobile ad IDs, BIDOs, MAIDs, IPs, IP6s, If you don't understand that side of ad tech from my world's perspective, you can't truly solve these problems. You can just try to do a little better than another agency. We're not here to learn Meta's algorithm better than our competitor agency. We're here to build a solution that eliminates the damn problem and allows ROI to be in the hands of marketers with their skill set, their ability to craft messages and get consumers and businesses fall in love with their brands. Right now, that's so outside of our market and realm because of the just amount of waste everywhere. So AI is going to help that internally with efficiency to be able to spot segmentation opportunities. You know, one of the things that people miss so much is you could build conversion funnels that convert at a certain rate. But if you don't have the data and the tech stack to identify which segments, unless you can spend the money to market to everybody, which hardly anybody does that, you've got to make marketing decisions. Do you want to pay to market to the audience that converts at 6 to 8 impressions? Or do you want to put all your money into the data segments that require 20, 30, 40 impressions? So there's even the bottom funnel granular understanding that it's not just about creative A/B testing. Now it's segmentation correlated back to audience identification, correlated to conversion rates, correlated to frequency. Now that's how you really start to drive more money out of your ad spend. And all of this is built into our tech stack.
So once you become aware of this current climate, and you actually start to put things into practice to safeguard your spend, be a little bit more efficient with it, and understand the true end-to-end process here, what kind of time frames are we looking at as far as seeing actual true results, better performance, etc.?
So we're going to be putting a press release out in the next week or two on this case study, but let me give you a very specific answer to that question. This isn't 2006 where we're doing print boards, TV, where it just takes time to saturate. We can pick an impression level and serve it in 6 hours or 6 days or 60 days. So as marketers or as a hybrid marketing firm like ours, we get to make those determinations. When I tell you that we over 30x this enterprise level brand in Europe, we did it in the first 30 days. And then we duplicated it again in the second 30 days. And now we're just starting the third 30 days of this pilot program. Digital marketing, it's this sort of now brand lift is a different thing, but conversion modeling, that's a right here, right now thing. That's a do it with speed and get it done. And if you're not seeing attribution outside of 30 days or inside of 30 or 45 days, the likelihood you're going to see any robust ROA is not very high.
There is no magic switch, unfortunately. All right. Well, Jason, I know you have a tea time to catch, so I don't want to keep you. This has been extremely insightful. I appreciate all this valuable information. Hope the audience has some takeaways from it. Thank you very much for your time, and I look forward to speaking again sometime soon. Good luck with the launch, and we'll talk soon. All right.
All right. I appreciate you, man. Thanks for the time. Thanks for having me.
All righty, Jason. Take care.
All right. See you, bud.
Bye-bye.